Same. Where is it? Bhagavatam? Okay. Krishna Krishna Text 10 today, right? From where? From here? Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I don't know. I only have one. So there's only one? Okay. Hare Krishna. Did I leave any prayer cartons at your place? No, I found it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jaya
His Divine Grace, Janardana, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki Jai, Sarvabhaira Bhaktivinoda ki Jai, Vidai Gopimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Krishna Krishna Prabhupada Sahitya Yapakasha Viti Vijay Vijay Kiravacha Padviti Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vasatyade Satarine Om Agyanati Mirandasya Gyanangyana Sarakaya Chaksuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Jatapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaisnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Iskcon Vitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamsana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Isvanu Sutadevi Pranami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Vipasindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6. Prahlad instructs his demoniac schoolmates. Text number 10, right? These are very nice verses. All of these verses are very nice. Okay, please repeat after me. Ka nu artha trishnam Vishrijet Pranebhya Api Ya Ipshita Yam Krinati Ashubhi Prasthai Taskara Shevaka Panik Yam Krinati Ashubhi Prishtais Taskara Shevako Banik Kono Arta Trishnam Vishyijet Pranebhyo Piya Ipshita Yam Krinati Ashubhi Prishtais Taskara Shevako Banik Kono Arta Trishnam Vishyijet Pranebhyo Piya Ipshita Yam Krinati Ashubhi Prishtais Taskara Shevako Banik. Somebody else? Somebody else? Word for word meaning kaha. Who? Knew. Indeed. Arta Trishnam. A strong desire to acquire money. Vishjay can give up. Pranebhya done life. Api indeed. Yaha which. Ipshita more desired. Yam which. Krinati tries to acquire. Ashubhi with his own life. Prishtai very dear. Tashkara a thief. Shevaka a professional servant. Vanik a merchant. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You can see? You can hear?
Can you hear at least? Can you hear the lecture?
You want to see? You must come. What do you want to see? You want to see the Lord?
Maharaj is giving lecture. Janardana Maharaj is giving lecture.
Maybe they want to see me.
I know you are seeing the TV because otherwise I have to put it high this one and then you can see Maharaj. But at least you can hear, I hope you can
But
hear.
you can go like this. You go like this to me. You go like this. You go like to me. Yes.
Yeah, now
Hare
you
Krishna.
Now I'm better.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama. Okay, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Money is so dear that one conceives of money as being sweeter than honey. Money, sweeter than honey. Therefore, who can give up the desire to accumulate money, especially in household life? Thieves, professional servants, soldiers, and merchants try to acquire money even by risking their very dear lives. Everybody please repeat, including you in Zoom or what do you call it? Zoom. You should also repeat, okay? Money is so dear to one who... Money is so dear.
Money is so dear.
That one conceives of money.
One conceives of money.
As being sweeter.
As being sweeter.
Than honey.
Than honey.
Therefore. Who can give up?
Who can give up?
The desire. To accumulate money.
To accumulate money.
Especially in household life. Thieves, professional servants, soldiers, and merchants try to acquire money, even by risking their very dear lives. Hari Hari. Purport. How money can be dearer than life is indicated in this verse. Thieves may enter the house of a rich man to steal money at the risk of their lives. Because of trespassing, they may be killed by guns or attacked by watchdogs. But still, they try to commit burglary. Why do they risk their lives? Only to get some money. Similarly, a professional soldier is recruited into the army, and he accepts such service with the risk of dying on the battlefield only for the sake of money. In the same way, merchants go from one country to another on boats at the risk of their lives, or they dive into the water of the sea to collect pearls and valuable gems. Thus, it is practically proved, and everyone will admit, that money is sweeter than honey. One may risk everything to acquire money, and this is especially true of rich men who are too attached to household life. Formerly, of course, the members of the higher caste, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, everyone but the Sudras, were trained in the Gurukul to adhere to a life of renunciation and sense control by practicing brahmacharya and mystic yoga. Then they were allowed to enter household life. There had consequently been many instances in which great kings and emperors have given up household life. Although they were extremely opulent and were the masters of kingdoms, they could give up all their possessions because they were trained early as brahmacharis. Prahlad Maharaj's advice is therefore very appropriate. Komarachari pragyo dharmam bhagavatam iha durlabham manusam janma tad api adrubam artadam. One who is sufficiently intelligent should use the human form of body from the very beginning of life. In other words, from the tender age of childhood to practice the activities of devotional service, giving up all other engagements. The human body is most rarely achieved, and although temporary like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life, one can perform devotional service. Even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete protection. Human society should take advantage of this instruction. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kunuvarta Krishnam Vishtichet Pranibhyopiya Ipshita Yam Krinati Ashudhi Prestaish Taskara Shivako Bani. So everyone has a strong desire to attain or acquire money. Why? Because they want to fulfill the senses. Pleasure, with a pleasure towards the sense objects. As we were talking the other day in our meeting, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Dharma means they become religious, and then being religious again is not the same as being spiritual. They become religious for purpose of fulfilling their material desires. Dharma, Artha. Then becoming religious means they want favor from the Supreme Lord to fulfill their desires to have money so that they can fulfill their material desires. Without money, no material desires to be fulfilled. You cannot fulfill. Because material desires means external happiness, not internal. Because you cannot fulfill one's satisfaction. So money is dear to one conceives of money. And conceiving of money is because it's better or sweeter than honey. Honey is very sweet, isn't it? In Russia they have different kinds of honey. Different colors, different textures, different densities. Also in the whole world, money have different values. You go to United Arab Emirates, their money is far better than pounds. Yes, of course. In some parts of Middle Eastern country, their money is so much more compared to dollars. Yes. Of course, the universal or international money is the bucks, the green money, the green bucks. But then in different countries, there are also different colors of money. The color of the money. But when we think of money, it's dollars. Like in other countries, they don't accept their own currency, they only accept dollars. You go travel in different parts, like in vacation. Of course now, in Russia, they don't accept rubles because of the war. So money all over the world has different values accordingly. In some places, you may have like even hundreds and thousands of their money or their pesos, and still the equivalent is maybe only $1. So money is very, very tempting. It says also that money is the root cause of all evil. You ever heard of that before? Huh? Money is the root cause of all evil. Of course, if it's used for one's own sense enjoyment, then it is karma. Evil because can be used illegally. It's like now in many countries are being careful of transferring money from one country to another because of this money laundering or terrorism. Terrorism. The whole world is against terrorism, so they're very, very cautious. Even in India, even if you want to transfer some money to India, you have to fill up so much forms. Even by Western Union. Sometimes devotees, they will send donation by Western Union. I have to submit forms every time and a picture. I told the teller, why don't you just make a photocopy of this and put my picture in your computer. Just no. We need new one all the time. We need new one. Yeah, they want to be sure. Because money can be misused. Money can be used properly also for the service of the Lord. That is the proper use of money or wealth. use it for Krishna's service. But if it is used otherwise, for sense enjoyment, then the root cause will be, or the cause will be further entanglement in this material world. So how money can be dearer than life is indicated in this verse. People will not work if they don't get salary. A servant, a businessman, a servant, that means in an ordinary sense in the material world, they will not do proper service if they know that they will not get paid. And they risk their lives. Some of them, they risk their lives to attain money. So many thieves, they go enter houses in the middle of the night, and they know that they can be in dangerous position. They can be shot. Even though they're already like in the front gate, they say, beware of dog. But the dog is not like a puppy, like Chihuahua. It's a German Shepherd. It's a Doberman. It's like, those bulldogs. Like very, very ferocious. And when they bite you, they don't even let you go. Not until our flesh is ripped. Yeah, and they're trained down. Well, some of them, instead of putting beware of dog, they put beware of God. Or they have cameras everywhere. CCTV. It's like now in major cities of the world, you cannot escape. In the major streets, they have cameras. But still they will take the risk. They know that they can be killed by guns or attacked by watchdogs. But still they try this to commit burglary. Why? Because, again, for sense enjoyment. Some may have valid reason. Maybe their family have nothing to eat. So that is the way earn their living. And many of them, like even in Vrindavan, we have pickpockets inside the temple. Yeah, pickpockets. They work in gangs. They take your chains, their gold chains, yes. And from time to time we will catch them because we have security guards, we have a security room, and they're watching all the movements. This is beware when you come to Vrindavan. Even if you have a bag, you put it for a second, you offer obeisances, it's gone. Seriously. We have instances like this, one devotee has like very expensive camera kit, thousands and thousands of dollars. Well, they thought, well, I'm in the mandir, Krishna is there, everyone is a devotee. So I offer my obeisances, and when I get up, it's gone. No, we cannot trace. It's not possible. It cannot be also because there's so many people. And sometimes they work in gangs. They will take your wallet, especially when, the key lamp, everyone would like to reach. So many of them will just go forward and then you get carried away and then that's it. They will take your iPhones and your Samsungs and Oppo and Redmi, everything. And that's why also we stop now giving flowers from the altar. Because, here also? Yeah, because that is a time when everyone is pushing to get, but others are not pushing. Yeah, they're pushing you to take something away from you. So they will risk everything. They will do that even in the house of Krishna. They risk their lives only to get some money. Money sweeter than honey, because it is for sense enjoyment ultimately. So it says here, Prabhupada says here, that also professional soldiers, they're servants of the, you may say, government issue. When you say government issue, that means they're government workers, like in war. Some of them, they like to protect their country for the interest of the country, but some of them, they know that they will get some salary and they will not have to work so hard. A little bit of training, yes, but then they will have also reserve, which means they will not work for some time. So yes, they would like to sign up to be recruited and accept such service, but they're willing to die in the battlefield. So for money, they risk their own life. And then ultimately, of course, some money will be given to the family members when one dies in the battlefield. So ultimately, he's also thinking for the family. But then the family will also use whatever is the money given to them for sense enjoyment. Then it continues on and on and on and on again. Merchants go from one country to another. How many times we've heard? Even our devotee who is being destined to a different place, they'll be transferred to a different country or different cities, and they will do it for some other reason, but also money is involved, and you'll get higher pay if you go to a destination where the company will send to you, even for the sake of not having the association of devotees. Right? They can go to like a remote place where there's no temple. There's no devotee around, so you'll be there for like so many years. Isn't it? It is. The most painful is being separated from the devotee. That's the most painful. The most painful is not like having cut your finger. The most separation with the devotee. So they will take that opportunity. Okay, I will work for some time, get some money for the exchange of not having the association of the devotees for some time. How many times we've heard devotees also travel all over the world. But then, one must go all over the world for the sake also because of their work. Money is involved. But then there is a risk also of getting the principles be compromised. Because wherever one goes, not everyone is eating vegetarian. If you're going to stay in a hotel, there's no Jain food. Or at least maybe some vegetarian, but then it's contaminated, it's being made or prepared, where also they're preparing meat products. And they don't know the proper way how to do. It's like in some places also they have, like in India, this is non-veg and this is veg. But how do you know that the person who's cooking the meat, then when he touches the salad, he will not wash his hands? Right? So that means it's not more vegetarian. It's semi-vegetarian. So, yes, that is the risk. And if you're alone also, then it's very difficult. I know some devotees, they will bring their rice cooker. They will cook inside the hotel, plug in, and whatever, like easy to prepare, they will do. They will make preparation. They will not eat in the restaurant or some other establishments. It's very risky, but they have to do it. They have to travel in different countries, not just different cities of North America, but even different countries of the world. especially if they have a high position in their company. So they have to be very, very extra careful. Otherwise, in the name of making money, of course, the process of attaining Krishna consciousness may be in jeopardy. It may hamper. Or Prabhupada says here, or they dive into the water of the sea to collect pearls and valuable gems. It's like in the Philippines. Philippines is called Pearl of the Orient. They have a lot of pearls there. Freshwater pearls. Not like the one that you buy in some markets. It's cultured. They make it up. Even in Puri, it's very difficult to get pearls there, but they said, oh, this is from the sea. No, it's very rare to get this. And we have like really big, big pearls. So some of these divers, they can stay inside the water for such a long time, a few minutes. I cannot even go underwater for a couple minutes or so, but sometimes they can go for half an hour or something, but sometimes they also use some device so that they'll be able to stay for a long time. But most of them are deaf already. Yeah, because the pressure of the water is so high that the eardrums will pop out. It'll break the eardrums. So they don't care. They don't care even if they're not able to hear. And sometimes they will die also because there is some sharks or some very ferocious aquatics under. They will risk just to obtain money. They will risk everything. Yes. Or some of them, they will work in the mines. How many times you've heard in the news, how many people died in the mine because it collapsed? Huh? And in the mines, it's like you cannot even tell whether it is day or night. Because you're under the cave or underground or inside mountain. No, there's no way. There's no way how you'll be able to survive. I remember my father, he was working also full-time, and he had also a part-time job when he was in Chicago. But life is shorter. Life becomes shorter, especially nowadays. They have what you call call center. In call center, in Asia, they work at night. They have what you call night shift. No, it's not night shift. Grave shift. They call it grave shift. Because it's daylight here, daytime here, and in India also, there's a lot of call centers also in India. And some of them also are scammers. Call center scammers. They took the risk. They don't mind, getting caught. They're going to get caught eventually for the sake of getting money to provide for their family. They're attached to the family. That's why they're doing all this risk. It looks like we're gone. Huh? Time is over? You can have another session?
I presented that, this is for 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. So yes, everything for the sake of sense enjoyment. What to do? What to do? We should learn how to be detached. We should learn how to give up the propensity to enjoy the material world. That even Prabhupada says, even in a royal family, the kingdom, masters of their kingdom, emperors, kings, great kings, they're also able to give it up. They will live their kingdom without notice and just go and become renounced, give up everything, knowingly that the purpose of human form of life is to go back home, back to Godhead. Even though they're very, very opulent, they're ready to do it. Are we ready to do it? Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Hopefully someday we'll be able to give it up by cultivation of this knowledge. And that's why it is advised in the Shastra that, again, we've mentioned this yesterday, that at the very early age one should go to a Gurukul. Of course, we are beyond that age, 5 years old. We are in our 40s or 50s, maybe 60s. I joined when I was the age of 24 years old in Canada. I figured out I'm not going to be successful materially, so might as well join. I know my parents, they have high hopes for me to be successful materially, but I figure out, why do I have to become successful materially? And I don't think I'll be happy anyway. So might as well try to do this process, and let's see. Like when I called my father, he was in Chicago. I decided to move to the temple. Instead of paying rent outside, because I was working summer job in Canada, in Toronto, I moved there in the summer. I was in the East Coast, Newfoundland. You heard of Newfoundland? There's a place where this Titanic sank. It's nearby there. So I told my father, I moved to the temple. It was on the phone, like, you know, pay phone, public phone. And I didn't hear anything for like few seconds. He didn't say, what? Really? What? No. He said, yeah, I'm just trying. I just came to try. Because instead of paying my rent outside, I will stay here and I give the donation to the temple. But I never thought I would stay for the next 38 years or so. But I never felt that I'll be successful anyway, materially. So, for the Grihastas, we're not telling everyone, give up everything now and go to Vrindavan. Because in the Vedic culture, at the age of 50, one should go for Vrindavan in the forest to prepare oneself. No, we have to live where we are. Of course, the spiritual master can give us instruction where to go or stay where we are. I know one devotee is kind of like 68 or 70 years old. He was living in Punjabi Bagh. He was living, he was living in Punjabi Bagh. Then I met him in Vrindavan. I said, Prabhuji, what are you doing here? Well, I just want to stay here now. I want to remain here. I want to just sit. No more city life. Well, he's a preacher though. He's a good preacher. He's one of the best preachers in Punjabi Bagh. So, one day, I went to Punjabi Bagh, and then I met him there. He says, Prabhuji, what are you doing here? Well, Guru Maharaj told me to come back. He said, I'm like 70 years old. He says, why? Well, he wants me to preach. He wants me to continue to preach. So the higher instruction coming from the Guru, it doesn't matter, you know. Even if it is against our will, we have to follow. That is the time, isn't it, to spend in Vrindavan. But Guru says, go back and preach and teach others how to do it. So yes, this human body is the most rarely achieved. According to our desires, we acquire a form suitable to fulfill that desire. As we mentioned yesterday in our meeting, there are 8,400,000 species of life. So there are as many desires there are that one can have, and it can only be fulfilled when we acquire that specific species of life. So better if we're going to desire for Krishna. Human society should take advantage of this instruction. But then there is never too late, as we mentioned again. Krishna consciousness, we will be able to attain Krishna consciousness, perform Krishna consciousness activities according to the right time, to the right place. And when we meet the bona fide representative of the Supreme Lord. Okay, we stop here. Is there any other points or comments?
It's happening in love, no?
Oh yeah, even the change, we will get report. But now we have so many cameras now. Even in our deity kitchen, right? Even inside the deity, the altar. Now, no one can do hanky-panky. No one. Even if one pujari, we see him offering flowers, we will call him, giving flowers to the people. Because this is the cause. The thieves, they are taking advantage of this. When you give flowers, everyone would like to get the Mahaprasad. Everyone is pushing, you don't know someone is taking your wallet. But some women, some chains are being, they know how to cut it somehow. They don't slide, because if they go like this, then it's going to get hurt. But they gotta use some kind of tools how to do this. Yeah.
When I was there collecting money in the small office, I never heard still.
No. They're there. Not everyone in Vrindavan is a devotee. Some of them, they're there. Opportunity to make money. Come on, in Louis Bazaar, all of them become like, lakpatis. Even crore-patis, because of Iskcon devotees. And they will say, oh Prabhu, for you, I don't make profit. But you, as you like. You can give me as you like. It's okay. Okay, you don't have money, come back tomorrow. You can give me the difference. This is it. It's a big business. People go there to make money, not just for bhakti. In Vrindavan. And then they will not even give 1 paisa to the temple. They'll be the last. This is the merchants, they'll be the last one to give donation, at least 1 set of dainty clothes, outfits. What is that? For their profit that they get from Iskcon devotees coming from different parts of the world and India to spend. Devotees spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees when they go there. Isn't it? And they will inflate the price. And then say, okay, Prabhu, I give you 10%, okay. But then the 10% is still like jacked up. The price. Sorry, there's a lot of cheating going on there for the name of money. But where are they going to put their money when they leave their bodies? They renovated some of these places before. First time I came to India was like 1987. And before, they're like shops, they're not so nice, it's like old, but now it's made of marble. Now it's fully AC. Before there is no AC. Now it's like, with glass doors and everything. Isn't it? So even in the Holy Dam, they take advantage. These big high-rise buildings there now? In Vrindavan, there's so many of them. When was the last time you've been there?
2006.
Yeah, well, that's what? 12 years ago? No. Isn't it? 13 years ago? No, there's so many. But half of them are empty. Why? Because no one buy, or if they buy, most of them still lives in the city. And some of them, they try to attract people, like big businessmen, those in the corporate world. And they even have like a golf course. They have the name Radha Golf Course in Govardhan. Yes. Okay, let's go to Govardhan to play golf.
The real Vrindavan, very modern Vrindavan.
Yeah, and they will use Prabhupada's name here and there. But everyone, it's not a trademark. It was Prabhupada, let's say, variety store, Prabhupada incense or something. They will use Prabhupada's name. Because you say, hey, Prabhupada, I must be a devotee. Okay, I'll buy from there. And so many stories I can tell you. They really take advantage. Even across the street, Gurukul, Gurukul across the street, so there is an exchange, foreign exchange money. So some Russians, it's like almost evening time, they exchange the money. You know what happened? Because they are staying in Govardhan, so they have to take a rickshaw. They were robbed, hijacked. They hijacked the auto rickshaw when you go Chatikara, and then there is an overbridge. Once it gets there, they were stopped. In the middle of the night, they took all their money. In Vrindavan, even daylight, Matajis, they carry their bags. There's a motorcycle, they get snatched. This is daylight. Even in Loy Bazaar now, it's not safe. The monkeys will take even your cell phones for an exchange of Parley G. You know what's Parley G? Now they don't like Parley G. They like Fruity now. Fruity. You know Fruity? Because it's more sweet. It's like, hey, Parley G. They probably will throw it back to you. Now there's so many beggars. Because they know they can earn a lot of money. And if you give them even 1 rupee, they will throw it back to you or something. Some of them says, no, 10 rupees. So, this is everywhere. They take the risk. Professional beggars. Prabhupada says, professional beggars means those who will run after you for money. Beggars, they will just sit down, and if they have a bowl, they will wait. If someone gives, fine. If someone doesn't give, it's fine. But if someone trying to pull your dhoti or pull your sari, they're professional beggars. Don't give to them. If you give to them, then you will get karma accordingly. Right? Any other points? It is the truth, what Prahlad Maharaj is saying. It's true even before Prahlad Maharaj, during Prahlad Maharaj's time, and it's true more in Kali Yuga. It's true more in Kali Yuga.
How do you, like in the Gita, Krishna is saying there are 4 types of people that come to Krishna. The
4 types of people come to Krishna. One who's in distress, inquisitive, one who's a genuine seeker of knowledge, and one who is economically they are in need.
Yeah, so in Iskcon, but there are also devotees, people coming to Iskcon for bhakti, for devotion.
Yeah.
So sometimes they look like, because they came to Krishna fulfilling those kind of desires, and the devotees who coming to Iskcon for fulfilling bhakti.
Bhakti, yeah.
They look like they sometimes clash between these groups.
Yeah.
Because they want to fulfill the desire, and then the other kinds of devotees, they're just looking for bhakti, devotion. How do you justify it in the same moment?
We're all individual souls, unique. Even those who are, let's say, in the initial stage, that we're looking for bhakti, we're trying to attain bhakti, but we can be diverted also because of the benefits of one who is performing bhakti, even trying to perform bhakti. There's what you call fringe benefits. You know, fringe benefits? When you go work, they give you insurance, health plan, even if you're not asking for it, right? They're giving it to you. So even a neophyte devotee, when he comes and he started to chant, start coming to the temple, started to learn about Bhagavad Gita, everything seems to be become, material things starts to flourish. So one should not think that because this is the result of bhakti, this is provided automatically because Krishna knows our needs. So some may continue to perform bhakti thinking that, hey, material things will flow more. I'll get more of these material things. So they will miss the point. Yeah, some they really want to attain bhakti. But one should realize that these material desires really are there for me to facilitate my bhakti. It's not that I should do bhakti to acquire more material benefits, but instead, we should continue on performing bhakti, and ultimately Krishna will provide everything I need. It's like in the early days, they have a slogan, Krishna provides. Krishna provides. They don't know how they're going to find the means to pay the rent. But somehow Krishna will out of a sudden, someone will, hey, I want to give donation. There you go. One time in San Francisco, they don't know how they're able to pay the rent. And early in the morning, Shama Sundar Prabhu and his wife, I believe Janaki. Who? Malati. Oh yeah, Shama Sundar Malati, yes. They're sisters. No, Malati is... Yes, Janaki's sister Amyona, right? Okay, so they're walking down the road early in the morning, no one is around, and $100 bills start flying from the sky. They didn't know where it's coming from. Yeah, what? Where is this coming from? $100 bills. So they collected all of them and they were able to pay for the rent. See, the whole purpose here is that in spite of, even in the beginning, our desire is to, for some other reason, we are in need or we are in distress, we're in need of money. Some of us, if not many of us, came zero balance to Krishna consciousness, even negative balance. Coming to Krishna consciousness, and then we start to be having all the facilities. We should not forget our main goal based on the Bhagavad Gita, to give up everything. And it takes a lot of realization to do that. And able to become detached. Prabhupada, he says, even if the whole world, Prabhupada says what? Even if I give you the whole world, what are you going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Or the Mayavadis, they're so detached. No, they don't touch money. I don't touch money, but they have disciples who will collect the money. Yeah. Prabhupada came with only 40 rupees. Yeah. The amount of $8. Oh, he also got $20, plus $20, because he sold the first 3 volumes of the first canto to Captain Pandya or something. So, yes, he got $4, he got $24 when he arrived. $28 when he arrived in America. Usually we heard only $8, right? But he collected another $20 from the captain. $28. But then later on he has crores and crores and crores of rupees. Crores and crores. And still more are coming. But all seems to be also that we are like struggling. Even though Krishna is the reservoir of all wealth, unlimited wealth, how is it that the devotees seemingly like they are always on their toes to get money? Otherwise, if money really is flourishing, are we going to be like, attending Mangalarti, or are we going to be chanting our rounds? Maybe not. Isn't it? Maybe we'll just, hey, everything is good. I don't have to chant my rounds. I don't have to read Bhagavad Gita. Others, they may have money, but they don't have bhakti. We just have enough, and we're in the process of attaining bhakti. That is a difference, isn't it? So yes, we all came in a different backgrounds, different cultures, different experiences in our lives, but ultimately our goal should be the same: to go back home, back to Godhead, in spite of whatever we receive from Krishna. Yes. It's amazing. That's why Prabhupada, when an astrologer, he saw his picture, and an astrologer in Navadvip, devotees went there to see astrologer, and they show the picture of Prabhupada, and the astrologer says, yes, this person will build a house in which the whole world can live in. That's where it came from. And we're all here. We're all here. And we're still growing. We're still growing. So not everyone who comes to Krishna consciousness has the same purpose to attain bhakti. Many, many ways. And that's why some of them, they come and they go. When their purpose is fulfilled, let's say materially, because they will pray, and then after some time, they go. Then after some time, they come. Prabhupada says, be surprised if they stay. Don't be surprised if they go. If they live. You've heard of that before, right? Yeah, those who are around, be surprised. Hey, Prabhuji, how are you doing? Don't be surprised if they go, because material energy is very, very tricky, attractive. Material energy is tricky. So, hope against hope, we pray that we'll be always under the shelter of Sisi Radha Madan Mohan, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Sisi Gaurnitai, Srila Prabhupada, and our Guru Maharaj. Birth after birth. This is our only prayer. Otherwise, we'll be separated from the devotees. We'll be gone. We don't know where we're going to be. Life will be finished. There's no happiness out there. Okay? Srila Prabhupada ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, and his schoolmates ki. Because they became devotees too, after association with the pure devotees. Hare Krishna.